Hello, Jimmy from Hairy Campers. Today we're in Rathmines. Not very many people know what Rathmines is about. I do. I've spent a great deal of time here. I had a boat at one time, a 40-foot cruiser, and this used to be the #1 place to come to. But we're starting our documentary. This is series 1 of our documentary of 75 years since the end of the Second World War. Now, there's one thing I need to get out of the road first. I said that the DC-3 had a Pratt & Whitney 9-cylinder radial engine. That was wrong. My information was wrong. It's a 14-cylinder Pratt & Whitney engine. The same 14-cylinder Pratt & Whitney engine as what they used in the Boomerang, the B-17, and also in these Catalinas. But anyhow, this is what this is about. A PBY Catalina base. This is what this is during the Second World War. As you can see here, this what looks like concrete going to nowhere is basically where the Catalina flying boat would come out of the flight line. That there is the flight line, because they are a flying boat. They would taxi out of the water up onto the concrete here, and they would then proceed to go to a service bay over there, a service bay there, or further on for different types of servicing. What's the importance of the Catalinas? The Catalinas were a very secretive operation during the Second World War. To understand what made them so secretive was, and I didn't understand this until I'd done a lot of research on them, the aircraft could leave here or leave Darwin or leave Port Moresby and fly 1,000 miles to sea, land on the ocean, be rearmed by a submarine, and they would then put their primary objective and activity was to lay mines. So they would get mines off the submarine and fly to whatever their target was to drop these mines. Now, it wasn't to cause death and devastation, it was just to upset the Japanese war machine. These mines would probably not blow a ship to bits, but they would interrupt the activity, so that ship would probably have to go back to be refitted for a couple of months. So you'd take an aircraft carrier or a cruiser or a destroyer out of the theatre of operation for a couple of months because of these mines. They would strategically place these mines in areas around New Guinea to stop most of the invasion of Port Moresby. Now, the PBY was a Consolidated Aircraft Corporation made thing. It twin-cylinder flying boat, and it was American. The Australians used them. The United States Army used them. The United States Navy used them. The United States Air Force used them. Also, the English Royal Air Force used them. The New Zealand Air Force used them, and the Russians used them, and I believe the Italians used them, or Brazil. I'm not just quite sure on that. The information that you can get is all on the internet, and as I said, this documentary is about today. Series 1 is about the Catalina Air Base that was situated at Rathmines. So this area here is a maintenance area. As you can see, like I said, with the flight line. I'll give you the look of a map. The map that I have here is available on the internet. So you just go to Mr. Google and you type in Catalina Air Base Rathmines and you come up with this. So basically we are standing right about there, right there on the edge of the water. These here are the Catalinas, and that area is that area out there. That's the flight line out there. That's where they were basically moored. And as you can see, there was a hive of activity. It's not much at the moment. Now we're going to shoot here. They've done a wonderful job. Lake Macquarie City Council has done a wonderful job of preserving this area, because 7 or 8 years ago there was a consortium that wanted to come through here and turn this into a giant marina and destroy all the history of this area. Could you understand what kind of impact that would be? It would be devastating. So the developer was told, thank you but no thanks, and we'll just leave it the way it is, and it was classed as an historical site. So that's, thank God for that. All right, this is where the aircraft come up for their servicing. Some had wheels and some were dedicated to only being a flying boat. Now, straight across there is the F jetty. That's where they used to take all of their maintenance boats and take them out to the flight line to service the ones that couldn't come up onto this concrete because they didn't have wheels. There was 2 to 3 different types of aircraft. Some had wheels, some didn't. Amphibious and non-amphibious. One was dedicated as a flying boat, the other one was an amphibious aircraft that could fly, land on water, but also could land on land, which is the way they build them. And they changed them around a little bit for that. There's a book called Black Cats, RAAF Black Cats, not a bad read. But anyhow, enough on this area. If we just move our way over here and look directly over to the south, you'll see that's the old barracks. That was the old barracks for the servicemen and their pilots. And further over, we'll go up to the old bowling club up there, or the new bowling club, sorry, which is the old officers club. And directly over that way, straight across Rathmines Park there, that was the sergeant's mess. So, and they're spending some money on that now, that white building over there. They're turning it into something, I don't know what. It sat there for a very lot of years without any maintenance whatsoever. So, but anyhow, the enlisted men slept and messed in that blue building there, blue and white building. That's where they were. But anyhow, enough about this area. We'll go up to another area and I'll show you the memorial up there, and we'll take it from there.